use it. You know what I'm saying? If African Americans want to use that for each other and it's a term of endearment, who am I to say anything about it? You know what I'm saying? Have fun, live life. You know, I'm in the military, and you know, I can't, you know, display the Confederate flag. There's a lot of things that I cannot display because of what the interpretation is and the symbolism that is, you know, recognized by those items. You know, I grew up watching Dukes of Hazzard. You know, I love that flag just because it means Dukes of Hazzard. It means rebels. It means, you know, doing what you want to, having a brain to think for yourself. So if you make me, if you say that I cannot display it, I mean, really, what am I fighting for here, you know?
That's a good point, Dallas. Thank you for the call. You know, have you been in a situation, folks, again, like a public place, a mall, or maybe a restaurant, like fast food or something like that, or maybe public transportation, and you definitely hear not only people of color, but I've heard, you know, young Hispanic, both male and female, using the N-word. But why do you think the president used it? And I mean, do you think, does that help this business of, well, that gets the discussion going and he had to say it, and how in any way? I think if anything that he's driving more of a divide between what we'd call white America and black America by, you know, just dropping that word and trying to make a point out of the word. And as far as overt racism and discrimination, it just seems to be endless with that. What do you think? 1-855-400-SAVAGE. 1-855-400-7282. Remember our website, michaelsavage.com. And as I said, you know, all the latest headlines, all the stories we're talking about, there's links to that for all breaking news and headlines. And you can sign up for the Savage newsletter. Log on at michaelsavage.com. It's John DePetro filling in for Dr. Michael Savage. More of your phone calls coming up. This is the Savage Nation.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
Your Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com. It's the only company I trust for tangible assets, gold and silver. Call 800-BUICOIN.
We need a change in attitudes among everybody. Lawful gun owners, those who are unfamiliar with guns. We have to have a conversation about it and fix this. And ultimately, Congress acts when the public insists on action.
You're listening to the Savage Nation. This is John DePetro sitting in for Dr. Michael Savage. You're welcome to join us. Dial 1-855-400-SAVAGE. Let's go out to line 8. Ann is listening to the Savage Nation on WABC in New York. Hello, Ann.
Hello, thank you very much. I'll be brief. He is an antagonist. He was waiting for this. This is his catalyst to be able to speak in the manner that he wants to. And it's also his last term. We must remember that he was a community organizer that had to come to Chicago to learn about the tribulations and all the sorrows that we had already gone through while he was away. A man who refuses to accept and he never mentions his grandmother and his mother, who was white and an anarchist, his grandmother, a white banker. Instead of bringing peace and unity, these people put him to shame. But he has an agenda. This is his chance now to talk about gun control. This is his chance now to antagonize. And the more antagonizing you do, and the more disoriented we are, and the more chaotic things are, the less the focus is on him, and the much more fodder for the Democrat Party.
That's true, Ann. One thing, he's certainly not bringing people together. Let's go to line 3. Richie is listening on WBOB. Actually, we'll get to more of your phone calls. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Savage Nation. Log on to our website, michaelsavage.com. Check out the new book, Countdown to Mecca, just in time for the 4th of July. John DePetro sitting in for Dr. Michael Savage on the Savage Nation.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Warning: the Savage Nation contains adult language, Adult content. Psychological nudity. Listener discretion is advised. And now, America's most exciting radio talk show, The Savage Nation, home of unprotected talk, borders, language, culture. And here he is, Michael Savage.
Welcome to the Savage Nation. This is John DePetro sitting in for Dr. Michael Savage. You're welcome to join the program today. You can call 1-855-400-SAVAGE, 1-855-400-7282. Remember to visit our website, michaelsavage.com. Celebrate America this July 4th with Dr. Savage's new bestseller, Countdown to Mecca. Celebrate America this 4th of July with Countdown to Mecca, and it's available on the website at michaelsavage.com. Sign up for the Savage newsletter. Arrives 2 to 3 times a week to your inbox, and it is totally free. Sign up for that Savage newsletter at michaelsavage.com, where you can read about how the Charleston killer was raised on the liberal credo of Obama and Hillary. Sign up for it at michaelsavage.com. And just a reminder, the Savage Scholarship winner is going to be announced July 2nd. 1,700 applicants submitted essays on what it means to be an American. 5 winners will receive $20,000 each, a total of $100,000 that Michael Savage put into this. Again, that's coming up on July 2nd. Now, some of the headlines you can also read about, whether it be at michaelsavage.com or the Drudge Report, such as that humans will be extinct in 100 years, says an eminent scientist. Or, I love this, Scott Walker moving to weaken tenure for state college professors. You can read those stories and more by logging on to the website at michaelsavage.com. Well, the controversy continues in the aftermath of the tragedy, the massacre at the church, South Carolina. President inflamed it by dropping the N-word. We'll play that for you. And also now, it is a full-blown controversy. They want to take down that Confederate flag in South Carolina. That it doesn't hang above the Capitol, but it's on the grounds of the Capitol. You have Democratic Representative Bakari Sellers saying the Confederate flag, a banner on which the shooter justified his actions.
I am under no illusion that the Confederate flag walked in and actually pulled the trigger. But it did give this young man a banner under which to justify his actions. And that banner under which he justified his actions is callous. That banner breeds hate. And for many of us, looking at that every day, my good friend Clemente Pinckney is going to be laying in state on Wednesday, 30 yards away from that banner. That banner where this young man went back just to find some refuge and solace in his hateful views. And that's why we sit here today, and that's why we yell, and that's why we scream, and that's why we want that thing to come down.
That was on CNN. Now, the president is headed to Charleston to deliver the eulogy. President Barack Obama will head to Charleston on Friday, deliver the eulogy at funeral services for Reverend Pinckney, the state senator, one of 9 people killed in this racially motivated shooting last week. Vice President Joe Biden will also join the president at the funeral services. That was just announced. Let's go out to some of your phone calls. 1-855-400-SAVAGE. You know, many people saying it's not hateful. It's Southern pride. It's part of history. It's not filled with hate. Let's go to line 3. Richie is listening on WBOB. Richie, you're up on the Savage Nation. Hello, Richie.
Hey. I just say why Obama's inserting himself is because he is a narcissistic megalomaniac. He's a rotten, spoiled child that has to constantly be the center of attention in any situation. And, he would be Taylor Swift if he could sing and dance. I mean, he just has to constantly be on the TV, on the radio, inserting himself with hateful, divisive comments in any situation. I'm from the South, and this thing in Charleston really affected me and our family, Savannah, Brunswick, Jacksonville. And it's just a shame that the leader of the free world, our president, would have to, on the same day, come in with politics into such a hurtful situation like that. And you know, I'm a son of the South. I'm white. I had ancestors that fought in the Civil War. But it's time. It's time for the flag to come down. I totally agree with that. It's time for it to come down with respectful dignity and reverence and be placed in a place like a museum or something.
Right. Richie, you know what's interesting, though? The president, he doesn't tone things down, does he? I mean, he inflames these situations involving race. Absolutely, because it plays in his politics to keep us divided, to keep us hateful, to keep us hurtful. It just is what he's about. He's got a dark place in his soul. There is just an incredible void. And as a Christian person, you know, and I put my Christian beliefs over anything, over my sense of being a Southerner, over my sense of heritage. My Christian beliefs come to the forefront. My belief in Jesus Christ, and he, you know, I wish I really could witness to him. I wish I could sit down with him and to share the gospel. And that it's about love, and it's about forgiveness. It's about reconciliation. Thank you for the call, Rich. You certainly don't hear that coming out of the White House. Let's go to line 2. Don is listening on WMAL. Don, this is John DePetro, and you're up on the Savage Nation. Hello, Don.
Hello, John. Thanks for taking the call.
Very welcome.
Barack Obama is not my favorite president. If anything, I think he should have resigned some years ago. But he's done nothing wrong in this case. Let me explain why. His use of the word, which shall not ever be mentioned, is contextual. He was simply explaining how it's used in society. And frankly, I found it refreshing that he was open and clear enough to be able to avoid this rampant political correctness that's stifling our ability to talk with one another plainly. There's an example that would describe this. A very hard-working farm animal called a jackass can also be used as a weapon, just like that other word can be. The word was designed, the N-word, was designed as a weapon to use against someone to strip away their dignity, and most people recognize how foul it is. However, I can use the word jackass in the terms of describing a farm animal that works on a ranch or a farm. I can also use that as a weapon. Are we soon going to hear farmers across the nation telling their sons, well, we better go out and hook up the J word because we've got some plowing to do, son?
But, Don, how does this, I mean, he is the president. I don't think it's presidential. And how is this helping the situation by using language that only, you know, one side of the debate can use? I mean, that's not, there's got to be another reason why that was thrown out. I don't think it's a matter of political correctness. It's offensive. Isn't it offensive? So I thank you for the call. I disagree with that because there's some intent on his behalf to use that word. Don't you think? 1-855-400-SAVAGE. And in case you missed it, let's play it. This is clip 2. The president doing an interview. Mark Marion. You're going to hear the beep. That's where he drops in the N-word. His exact line is, matter of not being polite to say the blank word, N-word in public. Let's hear it. This is President Obama.
Racism. We are not cured of. And it's not just a matter of it not being polite to say in public. That's not the measure of whether racism still exists or not. It's not just a matter of overt discrimination. Societies don't overnight completely erase everything that happened 200 to 300 years prior.
Let's go to line 8. Ben is listening to the Savage Nation on WABC in New York. Ben, you're up next. You're on the Savage Nation. Hello, Ben.
Yes, hello, John. Let me educate everyone while we're on the air. First of all, the so-called N-word came from the Scottish brogue and the Irish brogue, who were some of the people who originally had some of the slave labor in the South. And the word Negro or Negra came from that word because they were saying it in such a fast way with such a deep Irish brogue or the Scottish brogue that the word Negro came out in a long fashion. So it's not a derogatory term.
Yes, it is. Come on. I mean, come on. Are we dealing in reality, Ben? Yes, it is. Why do you think it's not even said?
Let me me educate everybody on this.
It's not a matter of educating. You're living in Thank you for the call. You're living in fantasy land. Don't start we're going to educate everyone. No, that is a word that, and for right reasons, is deemed offensive. When it's said, it is said in a derogatory